Hello everyone, today we are doing another first for this channel. We are drawing two characters in one scene. Yes, gasp away! I am shocked too, but we must follow where the pencil takes us. We start our Princess Minnie with a light circle guideline about the size of a ping pong ball. Cut your circle with a vertical line that is about a fourth away from the left side of your circle. A light horizontal guideline chops everything in half. Now draw an oval shape underneath your circle guideline, slightly tilted towards the left. Keep everything nice and light. This is her torso placement. You know what sounds fun? Drawing another guideline. Let's draw one large circle guideline at the bottom fourth of your oval. Again, this circle is tilted towards the left. Keep everything nice and light. At the top of your circle guideline and within the framework we created with our horizontal guideline and vertical guideline, draw a curved line that mimics a wave shape. Pull that line and follow our circle guidelines slightly up. From the top of the line we just created, draw a tiny oval line that very slightly juts out from the circle and then comes back in and touches the side of our circle. This is her bottom lip. Draw a larger curved line from that point that wraps around and touches the top of our wavy line that we made at the very beginning. Draw a small oval in the center top of the large curve for her nose. Darken the top of our circle guideline. Draw a curved line that starts at the base of our wave and curves up most of her head and then curves down and touches the top of her head. This is her closed eyelid. Draw lots of lines that point towards the top of the page and fan the entire width of her eye for eyelashes. Lightly shade her eye for an eyeshadow effect. Go ahead and shade in her cute little nose. Let's construct a hat. The hennin was a headdress in the shape of a cone worn in the late Middle Ages by European women of nobility, and Princess Minnie is definitely as stylish as them. To construct her hennin, draw a long, thin oval that spans the width of her head and curves at the end. Do not finish this oval just yet. Now draw a nice rounded triangle shape that is about a finger long. Don't finish your triangle either. We're going to finish all of these things in just a second, I promise. Her right ear is a circle at the top of her head that tucks behind the hennin. Remember how we didn't finish that oval or our triangle? Well, now place a circle at the bottom of her oval for her second ear, about the size of a dime. Then just connect that triangle to the ear and we've finished her hennin. Finish her cheek with a small line that connects her ear to her mouth. Her sleeve is a small circle by her cheek tilted towards the left. Place a light guideline that you like before darkening. Her sleeve is puffed, so to create that effect, add some curves that overlap each other at the bottom and top of her sleeve. Add a small line that follows her torso guideline. Add a small triangle between her ear and her sleeve for her collar. Let's work on her skirt. We're going to follow the general shape of our initial guideline, but we might make some small adjustments as we go, so stay loose here. Start by making a curved shape at our torso line. You can lightly trace this curve through her ear so it lines up, and then darken the line on either side of her ear. Draw a small line next to our curve to show depth. Following our guideline, draw a dark line that gently curves. Draw a very short dark line next to the left curve of her skirt. Now, Princess Minnie is wearing petticoats, so at the top of our very first large curve, we're going to draw a wavy shape that curves downward. Imagine she sort of kicked up her skirt in a leap, so her skirt has lifted up. This wavy line should be in about the upper third of our guideline. Simply continue the wave and connect all of the curved lines on the right side of her skirt. At this point, I'm gently tracing some C-shaped lines around my initial guideline to get a sense of where I want the bottom of her skirt to be and how I want it to be shaped. Finish that wavy line at the left side and connect it to our initial guideline. Follow our guideline up a short distance. Now darken the bottom of her skirt by making curved lines that gently peak and then go into the next curved line. You are following your guideline as well to help you keep things all aligned. Leave a small gap between your first and second curved line because we are going to place her petticoat soon. Her petticoats are simply scalloped lines that follow the shape of her skirt. You can kind of put them anywhere, as many and as few as you liked. I placed a small one on the right side and then began filling in the bottom of the skirt. Make sure that your petticoats fill in that space, come above the skirt line and below the skirt line to show some movement. Also, the scallops do not have to be perfectly spaced apart, so have fun with these shapes. At this point, we need to place her foot. So, taking your pencil, trace a diagonal straight line from the torso, since she has kicked her feet up to jump. Her shoe is a curved line that comes down to a point, like a super curved triangle shape. At the top of this line, draw a small curved triangle shape. This is the bottom of her heel. Then, from the side of that shape, draw a small curved line that mimics the first one and pull it down, 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 closer and closer to our first line until it meets at the point. From that point, draw another curved line that tucks behind her heel, showing the pad of her foot. Draw a curved line at the top of her shoe for a gemstone. For her other shoe, draw a half heart shape. Place that same small rounded triangle at the point of our half heart. From the corner of that shape, draw a curved line that mimics our half heart and meets it at its point. Finish with another curved line at the other corner of our heel, meeting everything at the tip of her shoe. Her left leg is a short line that stops at the skirt line. Fill in the space with some petticoats. Her right leg is a short line that stops at the petticoat line. Now just fill in the skirt with as many or as few petticoats as you like. I desperately needed to sharpen my pencil at this point, so feel free to sharpen your pencil, work on any lines, darken everything, or erase lines you don't like. Keep in mind as we do these sketches together that lightly drawing a shape or a line before darkening it is a great method to minimize line reworks. Once everything looks good, let's finish Princess Minnie with a veil on her hennin. Draw a short line that connects the middle of her hennin to the skirt. Draw a line that slightly curves downward from the tip of her hennin. Draw a C-shaped inverted line that then curves downward and connects everything with a curved line that goes up back to the tip of her hennin. Draw a curved line at the bottom of the veil that tucks behind the skirt. Add some texture to her veil by drawing short, curved lines. Finally, her petticoats have cute little dots at the bottom of them, so add some dots. Did I forget to tell you that the other character in this scene is Mickey Mouse? Surprise! Time to draw Mickey. So Princess Minnie is actually kissing Mickey's cheek and she sort of leaped onto him. This is a very famous scene from The Brave Little Tailor, so we're going to draw Mickey surprised, excited, and a little off balance. We start with a circle for his face. The circle starts at the top of Princess Minnie's mouth and curves down by the top of her sleeve. A lot of his face is covered, so you should have a little more than half a circle to work with. Draw a vertical guideline that is almost completely to the left of his face and a horizontal one that cuts everything in half. The horizontal guideline should be a little bit above Princess Minnie's lower lip. Draw a curved line from where our horizontal and vertical guidelines meet and curve it up to our circle guideline. Leave a little gap and curve the line down and back to the circle guideline. Pull this line up into a smile that stops by Princess Minnie's lower lip. Draw a curved U-shaped line for his open mouth. It should be a bit below our circle guideline. Mickey's tongue is always a heart in his mouth. His lower lip is a narrow line that follows the curve of his mouth. Finish with a curved line that connects his face to Princess Minnie's sleeve, following the circle guideline. Draw his left cheek by making a small curved line from his lower lip to his nose. Finish his nose with a small oval at the top. Darken the oval. Draw an overlapping curved line by his nose for depth. His eyes are closed, so from that overlapping line, draw one more curved line for his right eye. Let's work on his mask. So starting at the left side of our circle guideline, darken the guideline up to the top and then draw a short line down to meet our vertical line. Basically a half heart shape. Finish your heart with a curved line that stops once it hits Princess Minnie. Darken the top of his head and mask by following our circle guideline and darkening the space between the top of his head and our heart mask. Draw a little triangle for the side of his mask on the horizontal guideline by Princess Minnie's nose. His left eye is barely visible and it's curved line by his nose that connects to the side of his face. Now, Princess Minnie has kissed all over his face and left little lipstick marks everywhere. These are cute heart-shaped marks with rounded bottoms, almost like you took a heart and stretched it out. Put one at the bottom of his face, above his smile, and a tilted one above his eye. His ear is a circle on top of his head that curves behind Princess Minnie's nose. Trace a light torso placement line by drawing a curved tilted line from his head down towards Princess Minnie. Finish her sleeve by adding a long rectangle that follows the curve of the sleeve. Her arm is a rectangle that curves at the end since she is wrapping her arms around her hero, Mickey. Her arms aren't too thin, it's about the width of the rectangle we just created at the bottom of her sleeve. His shoulder starts where her arm and sleeve meet and curves up by his mouth, under his lower lip, and back down. Let's draw her fingers. So we're going to draw 3 ovals right next to each other. The first oval is small and narrow. It should touch the torso guideline. The second oval is slightly longer, going past the guideline, and slightly wider. The final oval is about the same width and height as the middle one and is touching her arm. Now we need to finish Mickey's hand. Draw a straight line from Princess Minnie's arm and draw a curved shape around it. This is the bottom cuff of his sleeve. Pull that line slightly tilted and across before rounding it and pull it up to her arm. Draw a small circle guideline for his hand at the bottom of his sleeve, about the width of his arm, so the cuff of his sleeve sticks out. Mickey has 4 fingers, but one is a thumb, so it's going to be smaller than the others. So, darken the right side of the circle and draw a small oval on that side. From there, draw his next finger as a slightly longer oval, making sure to keep his fingertips nice and rounded. Follow the circle guideline and darken a small section before drawing your next long oval. This finger should cover the gap in Princess Minnie's skirt. His last finger is on the very left side of the circle and is another long oval with a rounded tip. Remember, his hand should be expanded in surprise with his fingers splayed. Draw his customary 3 lines in the center of his glove. Finish the top of Princess Minnie's skirt by connecting it to his hand. Mickey wears a rope belt, so draw 2 parallel lines by his sleeve cuff for his belt. The last part of Mickey's torso is the small bag he wears at his hip that keeps all his sewing gear. Start by drawing a C line between the cuff of his sleeve and his arm. Draw a little indent on the side. Then, mimic this shape on a large scale around his arm and his finger. Draw some details by adding a line that curves through the center of his bag. Now let's finish this drawing by sketching Mickey's leg. From the point where his bag and finger meet, draw a diagonal straight line. Mickey has pretty thin legs, so draw a parallel straight line from the side of his finger down. Start his shoe by drawing a right angle around our first leg line. His foot curves down and around before flattening out on the ground. Then curve this line back up in a nice rounded shape and pull it towards his leg. His shoes are made of cloth, so they are very rounded without much structure. Darken the right angle and at its base draw an arch that curves in. Draw the top of his foot with a straight line, then darken his toe area with a nice rounded shape. Darken your outlines and then add parallel curved lines down his foot. His other foot is simply a triangle shape under Princess Minnie's skirt with 1 line for depth. Time to shade. Shade ears, legs, masks, arms, and mouth. Finally, shade the lipstick marks. This is one of the most iconic Disney kisses of all time, and it's so much fun to draw. Please like, subscribe, sign your name, and I hope all of your dreams come true. Thank you!